Hello everyone, my name is Shalonda Hopkins and today is December 18th. It is currently 10:35 a.m. Today I'll be talking with you all about interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication is the process in which people exchange information, feelings, different meanings through nonverbal or verbal communication. I am currently a student at Liberty University and I'm currently enrolled in Studies in Interpersonal Communication. Throughout this course, I've learned many things about myself in regards to communicating. I've learned different barriers. I've learned ways to communicate better. I've learned that I'm not always great at communicating things that I want, or it's so much things in regards to interpersonal communication. But today I'll be focusing on interpersonal communication and the barriers that I've discovered throughout this course. Some of the barriers that I've discovered throughout this course is that I personally am not a good listener. And I kind of knew that, but I always wanted to convince myself that I am a good listener and that I understand people and that I'm always there for people. But I've come to terms that I am not a good listener. And another barrier that I've also discovered is that I like to interrupt people when they're talking. And my favorite thing is to say but. But can mean a lot of different things. It can mean but saying like, I agree, but I don't. So you're saying but as if you are clarifying for that talker, when in reality, you're not really listening. You're just interrupting them. So you becoming the talker. And I've learned that. I've learned a listener and what a talker is. And I'm currently a talker. Another barrier that I have discovered is that I can be in conversations that I can easily be distracted, and I have a lack of attention span. So when someone's talking for a long time, I lose interest and I start to think about things that I want to think about or doodle things and not really pay attention to that person, which is not a good skill to have, because it is important to listen and to take in what others are saying, because that's the way we learn today, by listening and absorbing what others are saying. And then lastly, the last barrier that I've discovered is that I struggle with facial expressions and body movements. When I say this, I mean just understanding when someone is saying something that I don't like, they can see it all in my face, that I don't agree, that I don't like it. And that's something I need to work on, because I should be able to stay neutral so they can't tell how it's affecting me. And maybe that allows me chances to express myself without them being able to judge by the way that I'm looking or my facial expressions are coming off to them. Right? So within these barriers that I've discovered in regards to interpersonal communication, I have come up with some goals and strategies to overcome these barriers. These goals will include, me to stop interrupting people when they're talking, staying focused in a conversation, and working on my nonverbal communication skills. Some of these strategies, the strategies that I've come up with to help me accomplish these goals, will be to focus on the speaker and what they are saying, listen to understand, and not to reply, because I do have that really, really bad. And lastly, I will also remind myself that others can see my facial expressions, so just continue to remain neutral in conversations and just try to keep my face as clear as I can so people can't take those facial expressions wrong. And also just remind myself that some body movements, such as, moving the hands as I'm doing now, I have that bad. Also, body language. So if I'm slouching over, that can also be taken the wrong way. And I can understand that, because it can come off as rude, disrespectful, which I have to work on that. And I plan on doing that. Also, some implications that I've decided to implicate, just so I can continue to work on these barriers and overcome them, is just to continue to refer back to James Peterson's book, Why Don't We Listen Better? I feel that when I'm struggling with communicating with others, me just referring back to what he stated in the book, just always focusing on the listener and being the talker and all those good talking points. And he really stressed the fact about the why. That's very important to me as well. I struggle with why, but I also have children and they struggle with why. So that James Peterson book will help me just reflect that why does not always mean disrespect. It can truly mean that you're wanting to learn more or understand better about what someone else is saying. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my plan to overcome those barriers that I've talked about in the video. Also, I just also want to say that interpersonal communication is very important in our day-to-day lives. And it is important that we continue to work on these so that we can build healthier and better relationships throughout our lives. And I just want to say thank you all for watching my video. And I hope that I gave you all some insiders on interpersonal communication skills. And I'll catch you next time. Thank you. Bye.